In our 2021 Black Friday sale, you can save 40% on all Coffee Break Languages courses. You can benefit from huge savings on Coffee Break English, French, Chinese, German, Spanish, Italian and Swedish, simply by using the coupon code BF2021 at checkout. Our sale is now on and runs until the 30th of November. That's not all. We are also running a prize draw this week in which you could win our entire learning library. That's over £4,500 or $6,000 worth of language courses. This is our biggest sale ever, and there won't be discounts like this again for at least another year. For everything you need to know, head to coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF2021 and we'll see you there. We'll see you there, but we'll see you here first. So, good evening to you all. Hallo zusammen und herzlich willkommen zu Coffee Break German. This is a Coffee Break German live, and we're broadcasting on YouTube today and on our Coffee Break German Facebook page. So, let me know where you're watching. Ich heiße Mark. My name's Mark, of course, and I am delighted to be here for this live event. Now, this is going out on YouTube and Facebook. On YouTube, it is a Coffee Break Languages account, so you may be watching this and you may be thinking, why are we talking about German today? There are other languages, of course, that we offer with Coffee Break Languages, but today our focus is on German. Yesterday we did a Coffee Break Italian live, and we've got a French and Spanish live coming up later in the week. And all of this is to do with our Black Friday sale. And I'll be telling you a little more about that as we go on. First of all, I'd like to ask you to let me know where you're watching and how long you've been learning German for. It's always great to know that we have viewers joining us live both on YouTube and on Facebook. So do let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll be able to put some of these comments on the screen and we'll be able to say hello to you and to wish you well with your German lessons. Now, this is a live broadcast, so things can go wrong. Hopefully they won't go wrong today. And we'll be able to get through all of the slides and to explain everything that we're going to be talking about today. Let me just check that I can access the slides here. Yes, so just to mention that there are different lives for other languages. Yesterday we had a live for Italian, and the replay is available, so you can access that both on YouTube and on the Coffee Break Italian Facebook page. Today we're focusing on German. On Saturday we've got a French live coming up, and then on Sunday we've got a Spanish live coming up. And all of this is because we're focusing today on our Black Friday sale. Now, the focus is on German today, and what I'm going to be doing is basically taking you behind the scenes of the Coffee Break Academy. Many of you will be familiar with our Coffee Break German podcasts, and you'll have been using our podcasts to learn German. And if you haven't been using our podcast, you may have been following us on YouTube and using our Coffee Break German YouTube videos, like our Q&A videos and so on that we publish on our YouTube account. You may also have been following us on social media, or you get the Adventures newsletter, the Abenteuer newsletter every month. However you have found us, however you've come across Coffee Break German, you're very welcome. And today we're going to be focusing on our online courses. These are the courses that allow you to take your German to the next level, really get into your German in a much greater way. So I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes of the Coffee Break Academy, and we're going to be looking at all these Coffee Break German courses in detail. We'll be having a look at each of them, what all the resources involve, and I'll be telling you a little more about that because today, this week, we are running our Black Friday sale, and that means that on our online courses, you can get 40% off the cost of these. So it's perhaps the right time to buy and the right time to get ready for perhaps a new year of language learning in 2022. I'm delighted to see some of you joining us here and posting your comments. So we've got Nick's Tax. En français, bonsoir Marc, j'espère que tu as passé une bonne journée. Salut à tous. Oui, j'ai passé une superbe journée aujourd'hui, merci. I had a very good day today. We've got Loveless Red saying, Guten Abend Marc, wie geht's? Mir geht's ausgezeichnet, vielen Dank. Liz Howell is saying, hello aus Bulgarien. Fantastic, so you're joining us from Bulgaria. Valeria is watching from Argentina. I used your podcast to learn German. It's so helpful. Pues muchísimas gracias. Y vielen Dank, natürlich. We've got Els joining us from Holland, sehr gut. And we've got Alex joining us from up the road in Glasgow. Ich heiße Alex und ich komme aus Schottland, genau gesagt Glasgow, so more precisely from Glasgow. Fantastic. Great to have you all here. We've got Muful joining us from, ich komme aus Taiwan, aber ich lebe in Frankreich. So you're living currently in France, but you're from Taiwan. Fantastic. And we've got Gian Andrea joining us from Italy. So you're all very welcome today. Thank you for joining us. So, as I said, we're going to be focusing on our Coffee Break German premium courses, our online courses, which allow you to take your German to the next level. Let me bring back the slides. And to explain a little, we have a number of German courses available. We have, I don't know why it says sample pricing there, but we have Coffee Break German Seasons 1 and 2. We have our Coffee Break German magazine, season 1, and we have our travel diaries. And there are actually 2 seasons of the travel diaries available. We also have our Coffee Break German Reading Club. Now, the Reading Club is a great course that allows you to practice your reading over the course of many weeks. And I'll give you a little introduction to that later. Now, we've just recently released Coffee Break German Season 3, and this is an advanced course, so for taking your German very much on beyond a beginner's level. So I'm going to take you through each of these in detail and explain what the courses involve, what the online courses involve, what the bonus elements of these are, so that you can get more out of your learning. Because if you've been listening to your podcasts, then perhaps you have been following the audio between me and Thomas or between me and Andrea. And there you're understanding the language, you're picking up some phrases and so on, but you're not really getting the written language, and you're not getting the opportunity to read, follow a transcript, and indeed follow a video where we have words on screen. So I'm going to explain all of that today. What I would say is that if you have any questions at any time, please post them in the chat. It would be very helpful if you can post the word question before the question, and that way I can see them very clearly when they appear on my screen here. Just another couple of hellos before we get started. Hassan is saying Guten Abend, Mark, and you're coming from Zanzibar, Tanzania. Wow. And you're always with us. Fantastic. And Loveless Red, ich komme aus Spanien und lerne Deutsch seit knapp 2 Jahren. So you've been learning German for 2 years. And you would like to thank us for the courses. Also, vielen Dank. We'd like to thank you for following our courses too. Brilliant. Let's get started. One final thing I should say, that I've got a bit of a cough, so if I have to cough, I will try to hit the mute button. And hopefully you didn't hear that. So apologies in advance if I do have to mute. If anything goes silent, you'll know why I'm having a cough. Okay, so let us get on with our slides. If I bring these back in, we will start with Coffee Break German Season 1. Now, Season 1 is for absolute beginners, or indeed for false beginners. And how we would define false beginners is perhaps you have started learning German in the past and you got a little bit into the language, but then perhaps you've forgotten it. So you need a lot of refreshing. So Season 1 would be perfect for you either if you're completely new to it, or if you're getting started and maybe revisiting German after some time. We very much focus on transactional language, the kind of language that you need if you're traveling in a German-speaking area, or indeed making friends with German speakers in your own country, wherever you happen to live. We learn greetings to talk about yourself, practical languages, topics for travel and so on. But we also don't shy away from the grammar of the language, because we feel that it's very important to build those strong foundations for a language and do so from the very beginning. So that is Season 1. Season 1 is made up of, obviously, we have the free podcasts, so you can get the audio lessons. But with the premium materials, with the online course, we have a number of additional materials, and those include audio lessons, video lessons, where you have the words on the screen and you can see the words and phrases as they appear, lesson notes, where we explain everything in detail, and also bonus audio lessons, which allow you to take your learning a little further and basically do some consolidation of what you've covered in the main lessons. And in addition to all of this, there are also quizzes in Season 1. What I'd like you to do just now is move over to the Coffee Break Academy and we are going to go into Coffee Break German Season 1 and take a look at what it looks like in our academy. Now, the Coffee Break Academy is our online school, if you like, where you can take these courses. Let me see if I can bring me in here. Yeah, here I am. I'm up here. So the Coffee Break Academy is our online school where you can use the materials that we provide to learn German more effectively. So if we go into Coffee Break German Season 1, you can see here, you can access the whole course here. So this is starting from Lesson 1, saying how you're feeling, saying your name, where you're from, so the kind of language that you need to introduce yourself, your family, to talk about your job, and so on. But then moving on to more practical things like ordering drinks in a cafe and food and checking into a hotel and so on. So all of these topics are topics that you may well use if you are travelling to a German-speaking area. If we jump into one of these lessons, for example, each lesson has 4 elements: the video, the audio, the notes, and the bonus audio. If we go into the video here, then you can see that the video will play within our browser. Now we can make this full screen. We can also, I should say, if I just scroll down here a little, we can also download the video. So we can download that to our own device and use that on the go if we don't have an internet connection, for example. So if I play the video, you should hear the video. I'll scrub through the video a little so that you can hear different parts of it. Coffee Break German, Lesson 17. Herzlich willkommen zurück zu
Coffee Break German.
Ich bin Marc.
Ich bin Thomas.
Und wir sind hier, um
Deutsch zu lernen.
Ja, danke. We're here to learn some German. I'm here to learn some German. And Thomas is here to help us all learn some German. I should perhaps have said already that within Coffee Break German, my job is to be the learner. I am learning with all of you. And at the beginning of Coffee Break German, I didn't speak much German at all. And over the course of the lessons, I improve, and hopefully you improve along with me. But because we've combined a learner with a teacher, Thomas being the teacher, because we have this combination of presenters on the show, it means that if you have a question, very often I will have that same question. Or if I mispronounce something, then Thomas will correct me, and you will also benefit from that correction. Let me skip ahead to a little further in this lesson, because we can also skip to a part where we've got our grammar guru. Kirsten, our grammar guru, is here to help us understand certain
cases.
aspects.
The nominative, der, die, and das. The accusative, den, die, and das. And the dative, dem, der, and dem. You'll be pleased to know that that's the third of the 4 cases in German, so only one more to go. But remember, practice makes perfect.
So as you can see, you can follow the words on the screen and understand what's happening as we go through the full lesson. We're also joined by Julia. Julia, our cultural correspondent in each lesson. So let's have a listen here.
We're going to look at some of the famous sites or landmarks each place has to offer. If you like, a kind of top 5 things to see and do in different parts of the German-speaking world. Let's start in the very north and work our way south. We've already mentioned Hamburg, Germany's 2nd biggest town. Hamburg is often described as das Tor zur Welt, the gate to the world.
So you'll hear that in Season 1, we do use a lot of English for explanations and framing the language. But this means that you're able to listen, for example, on the go, and if you're driving or if you're at the gym. And so we've framed the lessons in this way so that it feels like a conversation with a German teacher, someone who is able to help you learn. And you can do so gradually, and the fact that there's lots of English doesn't mean that you are not learning lots of German. It means that you are able to follow it. Sometimes you are confronted with learning materials that are completely in the foreign language. And personally, I find that a bit much. I think I can listen for a short time, but I couldn't listen to 20 minutes or so. I couldn't listen to 20 minutes solidly of German to begin with. That's going to put me off. So the way we make our lessons is like a coffee break. You sit down, you enjoy the lesson, you listen to our teachers, and you learn along with the learner on the show. So these are our video materials. We also have audio versions of the same lesson, so you can download that and take it on the go when you're out for a run or in the car. We have the lesson notes, which allow you to access everything within the lesson and learn in a different way. So it's like using a book to learn. So there's a transcript of any of the German parts of this. And you can see all of the phrases listed and explanations of the grammar. And there's the grammar guru. So we saw the dative definite articles there earlier in the video. And of course, our cultural correspondence segment as well, with any German words highlighted. And as time goes on, there's more German as we get more into the way of using the language. So that is Coffee Break German Season 1. If we come back to these slides. Season 2 is quite similar in the sense that it is presented in a similar way. We have further practical situations, in-depth study of the grammar. We're really getting into the grammar in a greater way. And let's face it, German grammar can be a little challenging. So we really focus on the grammar in Season 2 and start to build up our knowledge of tenses, start to learn to manipulate the language and use the language to say what you want to say. And really all Season 2 is about is extending your knowledge. At the end of Season 2, there's a soap opera. So you're listening to a kind of radio play where three friends are living in a Wohngemeinschaft, a shared flat, a shared apartment. And you follow the story of these three friends as they, one is looking for a job, and there's a story that goes through the 10 lessons of the last part of Coffee Break German Season 2. Let's jump into the academy and we can have another look at this to see it in more detail, and we can see what this looks like in the academy. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, so we are back here. If we go to My Courses, and we'll be able to find Coffee Break German Season 2. So you can see immediately that there's more German being used. The titles are in German here. So let's jump into one of our lessons here. This lesson 9, Ich lerne Deutsch, weil ich Deutsch eine schöne Sprache finde. So here we're seeing weil, the word meaning because, and that makes us do something with the word order in the sentence. You see the verb finde at the end here. So if we have a look at this lesson, we can play the lesson again. I'll skip through this.
Coffee Break German, Season 2, Episode 9.
More complicated, but nothing outly.
Wunderbar.
Mir geht es wunderbar, denn ich bin gesund.
Es geht dir wunderbar, denn du bist gesund.
Genau.
So you can hear that this episode, this course is presented by Andrea, who is another native speaker of German, and again, I take the role of the learner. So there's more German used. You can immediately see that there's more German in use here, and we're talking about different aspects.
So we're going to use
German.
a different word. We're going to use weil.
Weil, so that's
And-
W-E-I-L.
Genau. And last time we talked about denn and the main clause, the Hauptsatz.
Yeah, I remember that.
Weil doesn't go with the main clause. It goes with what we call a subordinate clause, a Nebensatz.
Nebensatz. Okay, so just thinking back to our main clause.
Keinen Kaffee, denn ich gehe heute früh ins Bett.
So, denn ich gehe heute früh ins Bett. And then with weil,
Ich trinke keinen Kaffee, weil ich heute früh ins Bett gehe.
right.
Okay, so you get the idea. We're looking at more complex grammar, but all of this is very practical in the sense that we're talking about common things. So I'm talking about not drinking any coffee because I'm going to bed early tonight. So that is a little selection, a little example of what's happening in Season 2 from one of our video lessons. Again, we have audio materials, which are the same as the video lessons, but just an audio version of it. We have our lesson notes. So you'll see here all of the German is listed in the lesson notes. Any transcripts of any segments, you'll see there's more German used in the cultural elements. and any vocabulary used there is also provided, plus some translations for us to work through in our bonus audio. So the bonus audio feature, there's bonus audio in Season 1 too, but in Season 2, the bonus audio focuses on a translation challenge. So in each episode, you'll be translating phrases based on what you've learned in that episode. So that's Season 2, and again, available within the Coffee Break Academy and part of our Black Friday sale that we are running this week. Now, I should say again, we're running this today on YouTube and on our Coffee Break German Facebook page. So we hope that this is useful to you. We hope that you're finding this a useful introduction into what we have in terms of our premium materials. If you have any questions, please do post your questions in the chat and I'll be very happy to answer them. In the meantime, let's continue on and look at Coffee Break German Season 3, because this is our new course for advanced learners. Let me just click here. Coffee Break German Season 3. So, advanced grammar. Yeah, we're really focusing now on advanced grammar. We've taken what we've learned in Season 2 and taken it a stage further. And we're really trying to help you build up your understanding of the language and looking at all of these new grammatical concepts in context. In Season 3, we'll be covering idiomatic expressions, German as it's really used by native speakers. Now, Season 3 has a free podcast like the others, but it is a podcast in a different feed. So if you're looking for the Season 3 podcast, then you should be able to find this if you search on your podcast app for Coffee Break German Advanced. Indeed, if you search for Coffee Break German, you'll see Coffee Break German and also Coffee Break German Advanced. So that's Season 3, and Season 3 has a free podcast in which we'll be covering a kind of grammatical explanation and a dialogue which includes examples of that grammar point. However, that's just the main elements in the podcast. In the online course, we also provide a lot more. So we provide an additional audio podcast where we're going through the audio of the dialogue in detail. So we explain everything about that dialogue and look at all the examples of whichever grammatical point was coming up in the dialogue. There are, of course, lesson notes and video lessons where, again, you see the words on screen, and the translation challenge is back for Season 3. Now, Season 3 is happening now. So we're launching Season 3. We launched it a few weeks ago, and Lesson 3 is already available, and every 2 weeks a new lesson gets published into the Coffee Break Academy. On the in-between weeks, then we have the translation challenge audio. Let's take a look at what Season 3 looks like within the Coffee Break Academy. So if I just go back over here, we'll be able to get Season 3 now. If I just switch over. So Coffee Break German Season 3, so you can see Lessons 1, 2 and 3 are currently available. Lesson 4 will come out next. If we look at Lesson 3, for example, this is a lesson that was just published last week, and this is using the pronouns welche and diese, and the example, mit welchem Schiff fahren wir? So let's have a look at our video, and we'll start with the introduction. Coffee Break German, Season 3, Episode 3. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Coffee Break German. Ich bin Marc.
Und ich bin Andrea.
Wie geht's dir heute, Andrea?
Mir geht es sehr, sehr gut. Danke, Marc. Und dir?
Ja, mir geht es auch sehr gut. Und ich bin natürlich froh, dass wir noch einmal hier ins Studio sind.
Ah, Marc, sehr interessant. Why did you say ins Studio?
Because I picked that one out of my head. So as you know, I am a learner in this and I'm making mistakes. And of course, Andrea's picking me up on these and we're talking about these mistakes. So later in this episode, we'll go on to talk about the welche and diese pronouns. And then once we've done some study of these different pronouns, we'll hear them in a conversation. So the conversations are all set in different sort of situations. This one is all about, I believe, a tour in Zurich. So let me just skip ahead to this.
So, meine Damen und Herren, herzlich willkommen in dieser wunderbaren Stadt. Wir beginnen unsere Tour in dieser Bäckerei neben der Universität. Wer weiß, welches Gebäck die Schweizer am liebsten frühstücken?
Ich. Es ist das Gipfeli.
Genau richtig. In Deutschland nennt man das Croissant. So, und wer weiß, welcher Fluss durch Zürich fließt?
Das ist die Limmat.
Ist das dieser Fluss hier auf der Karte?
Welcher? Nein, du schaust auf der falschen Karte. Nimm mal diese hier.
Wir stehen hier am Hafen von Zürich. Auf
Sorry, I was still muted. We're interrupting our Swiss tour guide there. You'll hear, obviously, there are different accents, and that's very important as you get further with a language, that you're exposed to different accents and hearing these different accents in hand and understanding them. So the conversations are real, authentic dialogues that we've created based on the grammar points. So all of that is explained in our language study episode. So there we have the audio for our language study. And the lesson notes with everything explained, and then further information about the dialogue. With vocabulary for the dialogue and so on. And then we also have our bonus audio. So the bonus audio there is the further explanation of all of that dialogue, and in which Andrea and I go through each sentence in detail. And then the following week we have our translation challenge. So again, that's an audio program, so you can listen to the audio as you go for a walk or something. And then we'll be putting you we'll be challenging you to translate some words and phrases. So if I hope
Coffee Break German Season 3. Kofferraum with the big car boot.
Genau. Welchen? Den mit dem fliegenden Hund?
Okay, I think I've understood this one. Let's hear it one more time.
Sag mal, hast du diesen Film aus Italien schon gesehen? Welchen? Den mit dem fliegenden Hund?
So in this idea, we give you some time to think about this, and then we talk through the answer. So there you have it. That is Coffee Break German Season 3. And again, available as part of our sale. Now, there are some shorter courses that we have available, and I'm going to very briefly talk about them. First of all, our magazine course is a 10-lesson course. All of our main seasons are 40 lessons. Our magazine is a 10-lesson course and is very much focused on consolidating that language that you learn. We very much feel that as you're learning a language, you go forward and forward and forward and forward. When you begin it, you make good progress, and then there comes a point and that you can't keep going forward at the same rate. You have to sort of make your road wider. And that intermediate section where you're making your road wider and taking in more languages as you experience it in different ways is very, very important, because you're getting more input, you're getting more content to review and to learn and to be exposed to new words and phrases and grammar points and so on. So all of our intermediate content, like the magazine and other courses, will help you do just that. Take that language that you've learned in Season 1 and Season 2 and then move on further. So you'll be building your understanding of grammar. You'll be getting exposed to new vocabulary, and also because all of the episodes of the magazine are about cultural points, you'll be developing your culture awareness so that you can talk about things that native German speakers know about. I'm thinking, for example, one of the episodes is about Tatort. Tatort is a very, very well-known German crime show that everyone watches. And if you are familiar with that, it means that you are understanding an element of German culture and Swiss and Austrian culture, of course, that native speakers understand. So it's really important to get that cultural aspect too. We also have our travel diary series, and it's very similar. These series allow you to take your German further, to experience travel in a virtual sense, of course. We've had 2 series so far. So the first season was a journey through the German Alpenstraße, so through the Alps. And then the second one was a riverboat cruise from the north all the way through the south of Germany into Austria and beyond. So these travel diaries are once again written in a way that is created for learners in order to help learners take their learning further. We also have our reading club, and the reading club is about providing you with texts and texts that you can use once a week for a year. So it's 52 texts. They're published weekly, and if you signed up today, then you would get the first text today, and then in a week's time, the next text, and so on. And it's to help you build your reading skills, also your listening skills, because we provide an audio version of the text too. And that audio version has a slow version and a normal speed version too. And there are exercises too to help you practice your reading. Okay, those are our main selection of German courses. If I come back here, I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Excuse me again. I'm going to put on a screensaver. Sorry, just having a cough. Now, we are running this live to explain a little about our courses. I can take you behind some of the other courses if you'd like to see them, and I can show you more details. But if you have any questions about any of this, then please do let me know, and I'd be very happy to answer your questions. Rachel's got a question. Rachel's asking, wie kann ich mein gesprochenes Deutsch üben? So how can I learn, how can I practice my spoken German? Jetzt, excuse me, lese ich und schreibe ich ganz gut, aber ich weiß nicht, wie ich, oops, disappeared there, wie ich meine Konversation üben soll. So I can read and write well, but I don't know how I should be practicing my conversational skills. Ich rede mit meinen Pflanzen. You're talking to your plants. Rachel, that I think is one of the best ways. Talk to talk to your plants, talk to yourself in the shower, talk to anyone that's willing to listen. But in doing so, practice your conversation one-sidedly. So in a sense, you're rehearsing for those conversations. And I spoke about this in a recent email where I write a Monday email. So if you're not already subscribed to our email newsletter, then make sure you head to should be able to do this. coffeebreaklanguages.com/newsletter. There we go. That was completely blind typing, so I have no idea whether. Yeah, it's all right. So coffeebreaklanguages.com/newsletter. I send out a weekly email with advice on how to improve your language skills. And in a recent one, I was talking about using kind of preparing yourself with conversations by rehearsing conversations before you have them, and thinking about all the possible answers that someone might give. I don't know if you remember when I was young, I used to love those follow your own story books where you read one page and at the bottom of the page it said, if you want to do such and such, go here. And if you want to do such and such, go here. So you turn to page 26 if you want to try to fight the dragon, or turn to page 72 if you feel that you need to do some more preparation. And I think that's exactly what language learning is like, because you can think about all these different opportunities or these different circumstances that may arise. So if you're planning a conversation, you can think about, okay, what might the person say? They may say such and such, or they may say this, they may say that, they may say go and fight the dragon or do some more preparation. And I think by preparing a conversation, when you're in the car, when you're in the shower, when you're out for a walk, these are all opportunities to prepare. And then, hopefully, when you have the conversation, then you're more ready to deal with all of the possible answers that may arise. Now, it doesn't always work. Of course, learning a language is about being prepared to be confronted with things that you don't know. But one of the key skills that you build up when learning a language is adaptability, and adapting to different situations, adapting to, but basically adapting your next step on the hoof. So as you're experiencing the conversation, then you can adapt as you go. Rachel, I hope that has helped you, and do make sure that you are subscribed to our newsletter, and that you get the monthly adventures newsletter, but also some weekly advice for you in your language learning. Okay, again, do let me know if you've got a question, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. But for now, let's move on to some other information. first of all, I'd like to talk about the pricing. Now, our prices depend on the course. Some different courses have different prices. So, for example, if we looked at Coffee Break German Season 1, the same applies to Season 2, our normal price in the UK would be £108, and that includes VAT. In the UK, we pay VAT at 20%. If you were buying in somewhere in Europe, then you would be paying VAT at your local rate. Other countries, for example, in certain states in the US, they have a digital sales tax that is added, but all of this is calculated on our website. But as an example, £108 for our course Season 1, but with this week, our 40% off, that comes down to £64.80. So it's a huge saving. Just for an example, the same course would be $124 in the States, and that's not including VAT or any sales tax. And that then becomes $74.40. So with 40% off, you really are getting a huge saving. Looking at our magazine, the magazine is a shorter course. It's £36, including VAT in the UK, and that comes down to $21.60. And the equivalent course would be $42 in the US and down to $25.20. Now, Coffee Break's German Season 3 is a little more expensive. It's £120 in the UK, including VAT, and that comes down to £72, so it's a huge saving. And the equivalent from $136 down to $81.60. Now, I'm showing prices in pound sterling and in dollars. You can buy in either pound sterling or in dollars on our website, on the Coffee Break Academy. But you can also pay in other currencies, and it will automatically be converted to pounds or dollars. So you can choose pounds or dollars, and that will automatically be converted to whichever currency you're using. Now, all of these, you can pay by credit card, you can pay by Visa, you can pay by PayPal, you can pay by MasterCard and American Express, and a number of other options, and also with Google Pay and Apple Pay on the site too. All of this is done by using this coupon code BF2021. It's very important that you use that, because if you use it, you will get the 40% off. If you don't use it, then I'm afraid you won't get the 40% off. And it's really, really straightforward to use the coupon code. Here's an example. This is if you were buying Coffee Break Swedish Season 1. So there's a button just underneath the product which says click here to add coupon. This is in our checkout. So you click there to add the coupon, and you can enter the coupon code. So we would enter BF2021. That's the coupon code, and click apply. And once you've clicked apply, you'll see that you've saved 40%. So here we've got £36 off, and of course the VAT is added after that, resulting in a total of £64.80. So while this is showing here as £90, that's before the VAT is added. So this course would be £108, and then the VAT comes off, the discount comes off, the VAT is added, and then your total price payable here. Now, the important thing to say is that all of this is calculated on the website. So when you are accessing the website, whenever you see the pricing for you in your location, and any possible tax that's included there, that's all shown on the website. You enter the coupon code and you will see that you've got that reduction, and then that's the price that you will pay. So you need to use BF2021. The other thing to mention is that if you do use that code, then you'll also be, oops, that's the wrong slide, entered into our prize draw. We're running a prize draw this week, and basically it means that you can win our entire learning library. So every one of those Coffee Break German courses I've just mentioned. Not only that, also all of our other languages. Now, this is a fantastic prize. There are only over 75 courses, and it's thousands of hours it's a lifetime's worth of language learning, basically. And it's worth about £4,500 or $6,000. And we're giving this away to 4 lucky language learners next week at the end of our sale. So to be in with a chance of winning this, then just make sure that you're using that coupon code BF2021 at checkout when you buy a course. Now, I should also say that it's possible to enter the competition. Not that one. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there. So it's possible to enter our competition, our prize draw, without making any purchase, and you can do so at coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF2021, which is our main page for our Black Friday sale. And there's a form there that you can fill in if you prefer not to take advantage of these fantastic offers this week, and just join the competition instead. So, I think that is about it in terms of information that I have for you. But as I said, I'm very happy to answer any questions that you may have. While you're posting your questions potentially in the chat, as I say, I'm very happy to answer anything that you would like to ask. I will answer a couple of things that we had earlier today by email, and questions that we also had in our Italian live yesterday. First of all, the important thing to mention is that these sorry, 1 second, just while I mute notifications here. Sorry about that. So one thing that is important to say is when the sale finishes. The sale is running until the 30th of November. So that's next Tuesday, another 6 days, next Tuesday evening UK time, so 23:55, 5 to midnight UK time next Tuesday evening. And that is the absolute limit of the sale. So after that point, you cannot use the coupon code BF2021. It will be impossible. It just will not work. And there's no way we can reopen this after that date. So if you're interested in taking part and benefiting from our sale, then do use the code before next Tuesday. Now, I should also say that when you buy our courses, you have access to these for as long as you need them. It's something that we feel is very important. It's not an ongoing subscription for these courses. These courses are one-off purchases. So when you buy the course, you have access to that for as long as you need it, and you can also download that to your own device and store it on your own computer and so on. So that's another important another important thing to mention. Liz is asking, can you share some examples of the grammar that will be covered in Season 3? That is a very good question, Liz. And in order to do that, I will just need to open up a document on my computer to see if I can share this with you. Let me see. Where are we? Okay. So, Coffee Break German, Season 3. No, I think this is it. Yep. So I can't actually put this on the screen, but we're looking, for example, next week we're looking at the Präteritum, the imperfect tense. So we're looking at regular verbs. Then we go on to talk about irregular verbs in the Präteritum. We then go on to look at the genitive case. The genitive case is something we've not really covered at all before. We've seen a couple of examples of it, but we'll be using the genitive case in lesson 306 and lesson 6, season 3. We'll be looking at infinitive structures. So with ich hoffe, something zu, so the zu plus infinitive. Then we'll be looking at conjunctions, we'll be looking at more infinitive structures, more prepositions, and prepositions that are governed by particular cases, so with the genitive, with the dative, with the accusative, adjectival endings, the future tense, looking at future tenses, looking at relative clauses, looking at time, prepositions of time, like seit, ab, wann, während, am, and zwischen, and so on. We'll be looking at reflexive verbs with the dative. We will be looking at passive sentences with werden. I hope this is all making sense. Ordinal numbers and superlatives. Then the participles, so Partizip 2 as an adjective, the gerund, and also looking at the subjunctive. For giving advice and expressing wishes and so on. So there's lots of really good stuff to come in Season 3. I hope that answers your question, Liz. At the end of Season 3, like in Season 2, we'll also be having a story. So this time it's basically based around texts, and the story is more like reading a short story rather than a kind of drama thing like we had in season 2. But it's definitely something to look forward to. Season 3 is being published every 2 weeks, and we are at lesson 3 so far. Lesson 4 goes out next. And then each 2 weeks we will get a new episode, and that is going to be lasting all the way through next year, every 2 weeks with a new episode. I should also say that there's a bundle for seasons 1 and 2, but because season 3 is an ongoing publication, we're not putting that into a bundle yet. We will do when it is complete at the end of lesson 40 of season 3. But for now, there's no bundle including season 3. So I hope that answers your question, Liz. So Thibaut is saying you're listening from Belgium. Cheers, merci beaucoup, vielen Dank. And Rachel says vielen Dank. So I hope that my advice about practicing your speaking with some preparation works. That's it for this live event. As I said, we will be running other live events for French and Spanish, and also a more generic one on Friday and on Monday to explain a little more about our Black Friday sale. Don't forget about the prize draw. You can just go to that link up there and head there to find out more about what we have on offer in our Black Friday sale. But it really is important that if you are thinking about signing up for Coffee Break German, then you do so this week, because this week only there is 40% off. I'm going to leave you there. Vielen Dank. Thank you very much for staying. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we will be back soon with more Coffee Break German. For now, vielen Dank und bis zum nächsten Mal. And of course, happy coffee breaking.
In our 2021 Black Friday sale, you can save 40% on all Coffee Break Languages courses. You can benefit from huge savings on Coffee Break English, French, Chinese, German, Spanish, Italian and Swedish, simply by using the coupon code BF2021 at checkout. Our sale is now on and runs until the 30th of November. That's not all. We are also running a prize draw this week in which you could win our entire learning library. That's over £4,500 or $6,000 worth of language courses. This is our biggest sale ever, and there won't be discounts like this again for at least another year. For everything you need to know, head to coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF2021, and we'll see you there.